Welcome everybody to another episode of Dirty Talk Vegas, where we talk to the bold stories unfold from the young to the old. Nothing's ever off limits to be told. I'm Essie Love, aka Tornado Head, because I'm going to keep your head spinning in all motherfucking directions. Anyways, thanks for coming back and joining us. It's Monday night. We have a very special guest in the house tonight, and Carlucci should be joining us any minute as she gets herself together. Till we get our guest online and Carlucci, I'm just going to go over some news that's been happening, some topics real quick before they come in to the studio. Some stuff has been happening over the week, and I always like to talk about what's been going on. And some of the things that's been going on is, well, we have some stuff that's going on in Vegas. First and foremost, we have a new cannabis show coming to town, you guys. Yes, Area 15 is dropping a Hocus Smocus show. Hell yeah. Costs $30 to get in, but hey, I think you're gonna get a good little, buzz from it. So it's going to be worth your money. So, that's coming in April, just in time for the spring breakers. You already know it's going to be pretty crazy. So definitely check that out if you guys are going to be in town during that time. Definitely check it out. Hocus Smocus is what it's called. So debuts in April. Hey, and there's Carlucci. She has joined the fucking building.
What's up, Carlucci, bitch?
Carlucci's here now. I was just telling them about the new show that's coming to town. It's called I just started, but I was telling them about the Hocus Smocus. It's coming to town in April. It's a new cannabis show, so we are so excited. That starts in April. It's going to be $30, but they're going to get their money's worth getting high up in the show. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, everybody know this is Carlucci. Go ahead, girl.
It's Carlucci. It's your girl. You can talk to me about your coochie or whatever else you have on your mind, and you know I'm gonna always keep it Gucci. Tonight, as far as I know, we got a pretty good list of things going on. I don't know what you already jumped into, so I'm a little late.
Just a cannabis show. I got to start because we're gonna have our special guest jumping in on 8:45. 8:45. Yeah. So I just wanted to get started real quick.
8:45 all the way live.
Yeah. Jeezy had a birthday. Happy birthday, Jeezy.
Happy birthday, Jeezy.
I'm so shocked at what this man did. Normally, rappers, they have a birthday and the first thing they do is they go to the club, they buy bottles, they buy cars, they buy chains, they just splurge on the most extravagant things. They get a yacht, they go vacations, they do the craziest shit, right?
Right.
Not Jeezy.
Not Jeezy. Not my boy Jeezy.
Jeezy's smart. Jeezy went and bought some land. Hello.
Yes,
I am so shocked.
That.
Right, I'm so shocked at this guy. Like, wow, that's they're getting smarter. Like rappers, they're getting smarter. Like, okay, I see y'all.
I see you, Jeezy. I see you, Jeezy.
Right, and I think he just had a baby. So like,
he did. Yeah. I followed his wife on Insta, and she does her like detox tea or whatever, and she was showing off the babies, and they're so cute. He had a little girl.
Nice. So that's what's up. So he's probably trying to pass something down to his family. That's cool. I love it. I love Jeezy. So hey,
I love Jeezy too. Oh, I can't wait to hear the thing.
So a lot of celebrities have been doing that lately, is buying property. So that's pretty smart. Oh, which reminds me, I didn't even have this in my stories, but this lady in Atlanta, she was taking people's money. Did you hear about that?
Oh my God. No, dime.
Listen, oh my goodness, this lady was like selling property. She was giving them deeds, but for some reason, and I know you need the title with it, but like you don't necessarily have to have the title off top until you finish paying off the land. But see, people were making payments on the land, but she was selling the same property to people and giving them the same deeds, like over and over, like to so many different people. And like, oh my God.
How? Because doesn't it have to go to like escrow through a title company or like whatever? Like I don't even know how that all works, but like yeah, something like that, right?
it has to be done correctly. And I don't know if just like people weren't checking to make sure she had all of the paperwork, if the property was actually in her name to be selling the property. I'm not even sure what, but somehow it was like hundreds of people that got screwed out of money,
Well,
like
I guess it's just how many people?
$10,000 worth of people. So like you can always call a property assessor in that state and find out who owns the land first and foremost before you buy the property, and make sure that that is the person that is, you know, legally can sell you the property anyways,
Right.
or you,
Right.
before you
And
purchase it.
I
Like,
mean, it's also a good idea to just go ahead and get yourself a realtor so that you can make sure that there's somebody that's gonna go all of the legal routes and, you know, cross all of the T's and dot all of the I's when it comes to that. Because you're not a realtor, you don't know what the laws are, you don't know what you're doing. Probably better
yeah,
just to use the professionals.
I
Get an
know,
assessor, get a
but
real estate agent. That 10% that you think you're saving, you could have saved yourself. However, these people, I bet you they're wishing they would have done that.
yeah, I know. But if you're buying rural land or whatever, that's a little bit harder. It's a little tougher to find the real estate person to do that. I know personally it's kind of a little more difficult, but you know, a lot of times people are just, they're kind of more like, I want it now. And to go through real estate people, sometimes you get the runaround, and that is the only problem. Like everybody's in for a profit, and you just want to,
Right.
any day you can miss an opportunity just
Mm-hmm.
trying to go through somebody else. And I just, I don't know. Do your
Just
due.
be careful, people. Do your due diligence.
Yes, please, please, please. All right.
I love those earrings. Where'd you get those earrings from? Are those Are those Betsy?
Journey, they're cherries.
Oh, they look like Betsy Johnson.
Vitamin Journey. Also, a teacher in California was hit with 14 charges of child sexual abuse case. Um,
Okay, I heard about this lady. Wasn't she like teacher of the year? Like, you
Asian lady.
know, yeah.
Hmm. And my thing is we're hearing a lot more of this when it comes to women, and I'm thinking, what's
And
going
that's
on?
sick.
What's going on, women? Like, what's going on? Like, why are we hearing so much of this coming from women? Like, what's going on? And I know like women are having a harder time dating in today's society. I mean, is
But don't become a child predator, WTF.
I get that, but is
Where the
it
fuck
the
is Chris
lack?
Hansen when you need him?
Where's the what?
Where's Chris Hansen when you need him?
That part, like what what
Where
is
was he?
on?
He was on a coffee break. He should have been catching this bitch.
I don't even know. I am so like disgusted with it. I just feel like you can't trust anybody anymore. A lot of people just pulling their kids out of school and doing homeschooling. So I don't know. Do what you feel is
People
best.
think I'm crazy when I say I'm thinking about going the homeschooling route. They're like, oh, well, why would you do that? Like, your kids are going to be weird. And I'm like, you know, that's an old stigma from an old time. It's like we live in the age of fucking COVID. Everybody, you work remotely. You think your kids can't work remotely? I don't know. It's kind of fucking weird to me.
Yeah, I was homeschooled for a little while. I hated it, but you know, most kids aren't really gonna like it because they're not around other kids. You miss that opportunity of being around other kids. But
But I
um,
feel like they're so overscheduled. They have all these things because they don't go play outside anymore. So it's like, you know, they go straight from school to gymnastics, from gymnastics to tutoring, tutoring to bed. You know,
right,
it's like their day is literally more busy than the average adults.
right,
So I think like me personally, I'm like, I don't really think kids need all of that. Like, yes, I know they need to be competitive and this and that in today's world, but it's like, doesn't your kid also need to be happy? I don't know. I guess I'm old school like that.
right,
I'm like, I think like probably homeschooling them, you're gonna keep them away from a lot of those negative influences. You're not gonna be wondering where little Susie picked up the F bomb. You're
right,
gonna know. You're gonna know it was from you.
right. I mean, anything can go wrong. I mean, it's a hit and miss.
And
It's
the school shootings, I don't know. I'm just scared. I'm scaredy pants. But everybody tells me it'll be different when they get to that age where they go to school because then you're like, go.
yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, you still got young ones. It could change years from now. It could become better. Who knows? We still got a
Fingers
little
crossed,
more.
right?
Right, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Well, I hope it gets better for all the little kids that are going to school right now too, and then they don't have to deal with all this drama.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of drama, we have a very special guest to bring in that is a filmmaker and does filmmaking in drama. So we're gonna go ahead and bring her on in. Oh, she's got a beautiful picture up right now. We got to get her live though. Are you there? There she is. Hello.
Cute. Hi, good evening,
Hello.
ladies. How are
Hello.
you?
Hello. We are so honored to have you today, Jen Blanton.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
We were just speaking about drama, and so I was saying we're speaking to a filmmaker who has movies on drama, which I love.
Dramatic movies.
Yes, I love.
Oh, thank you.
We have a filmmaker, sexologist, and love coach, Jen Blanton here. And I just want to thank you for your creative work because it really was an eye-opener for so many different tough topics and issues that people deal with every day in life, or not every day. Well, some do deal with that every day, but just in life in general. And I was like, just glad that you touched on those topics so people can kind of like, you know, get a perspective from different angles of those issues. So thank you for that, you know. I love when people bring light to different situations for other people to see, because, you know, you never know what somebody else is going through when they go through situations like that. Some of those issues were trust issues. What else did you have? Rape issues, adultery, sisterhood, secrets, self-love, and therapy, and fear. I got fear from your movie, too.
Yeah, so that you must be talking about Just Between Us Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That one. I actually that one was written by a lady by the name of Tony Nall. I did have some creative input on some of the things that how the story went, but definitely, because you don't get to see everything from everybody's different perspective. And one of the roles that really touched me the most, and not just because I played the character, but was Amber's story, the one that had been sexually assaulted, and how she was dealing with it even before the audience knew what was going on with her. So we got a lot of feedback as to why was she treating her husband like that? You know, she was crazy. Even I was like, oh my God, that Amber is tripping. She got this nice husband at home. What's going on? But then as the story unfolds, you know, you discover that she had been sexually assaulted, and it just brings to light that sometimes we as darker melanated people don't think that therapy is necessary, but it is. And something that, you know, if you're having those type of issues that your friends really can't help you, sometimes you really need that professional that can, they'll never be able to take the pain away, of course, but can maybe give you some tips and mechanisms on how you can still live your life through that situation. So
I was thinking about that when I saw it. I was thinking, what did he do to her? I was like, he must be an asshole for her to be like tripping on him, because they didn't really explain that at first until like all the way toward the end, and then it finally told like why she was acting that way, kind of. So I was just like a lot of the story, it was kind of like it left you in the dark until toward the end. You finally got to see why the women were acting the way they act, which happens in life too. A lot of times we don't know the whole story, and we're like, she's such a bitch. Like, why is she acting like that? And you just don't even know what's going on in a person's life to even be saying that. We're on the outside looking in, you know, so we never know. So I love that perspective as well. And therapy is so important. I was thinking that I've been thinking about that for a while now too. Just myself being adopted, I have abandonment issues, I'm sure, that are deep rooted. And, you know, as much as I try to act like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, you know, I'm sure that if I did some therapy, I could dig deep into, you know, some self-healing for myself as well. So I feel like, you know, people need therapy in general. Do you feel as a love coach or any of that people just need therapy in general?
Absolutely. It's interesting you say that, because I myself am adopted. So I dealt with the abandonment issues myself. I'm adopted in the same family.
Okay.
And I still dealt with issues of abandonment. And what I mean by same family is my great aunt adopted me.
Oh, okay.
So my grandmother's sister adopted me, but I still dealt with, not having seen my birth mother until face to face until I was 16, having heard her name throughout my life, but not having put eyes on her. And then just feeling that, how can I explain it? My family never hid the fact that I was adopted. I'd known as far as I can think thoughts that I was adopted. So I always grew, okay, nobody loved me. Why am I the only? And then not knowing who my father was for a while. I'm the only one in my family who doesn't know who my father is, but I'm still in the same family.
Right.
So I was once married, and where this came out for me is my ex-husband and I had to go through some therapy sessions for some issues that we were having intimately in our relationship, and it came out my past abandonment issues and things like that I had not healed from. So yes, I do think that people in general, sometimes we need that unbiased person to talk to, the person that doesn't really know all of the things about you that your family and your friends do, and they can get right to the issue, because your family and your friend, they're going to come from a place of where they care about you, they love you, and so they may sugarcoat things, where if you can get somebody that's unbiased, objective, and just wants to get to the root of the problem, it's probably best. I think.
I love that.
I think that's like super important though. I feel like just in general, the status of one's mental health is often overlooked. It's like, people are like, oh, how are you doing? But they don't really mean it. They don't really want to know how you're doing. They just want you to say the automated response, I'm good, and then like continue with whatever transaction that they're doing. And I think it's so important to like check in with yourself and like have self-care, do meditation, make sure that you do have a therapist, or if you don't have a way to have a therapist, have somebody that you can seriously like confide in, and like even if they're not able to necessarily give you like the best guiding advice because they're not a professional, just at least somebody to vent to. I feel like so many people, especially in women, we like keep it all in. It's like, you're just expected to just keep on going. Your mom in, your wife in, you're singling, you're doing whatever you're doing, and it's like you just have on your cape and your S on your chest all the time, and it's like, you come one day and you don't have makeup on, and everybody's like, what's going on with you? It's like, I didn't want to put the shit on today. It's like, but it's like, it's like, oh, all right. Well, then they want to check in on you, but it's like, well, oh, are you okay? It's just like, well, get dressed tomorrow. So I think that's super important to highlight that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I like how the movie highlighted that too, when they had got into an argument toward the end. They all started kind of calling each other out. Well, that's why you toxic anyway, and that's why I told you this and that. And I was thinking, see, that's a lot of the stuff that the friends was holding in, even amongst each other. And I feel like I'm good with that part, because whenever I get mad at Carlucci, I tell her right away. I be like, bitch, I ain't told you, like I don't hold shit in. That's my problem. They be like, well, God.
That's good. But that's good though, because I hold things in. I'll let things pile up, and then what I do is like, that old saying, your mama used to be like, I'm gonna tell you, but when I finally get tired, I'm gonna whip button. Then it's like, oh, articles come down on you or something. So I wish I was a little bit more like you, to be honest. And
it's not that good.
And that comes from my situation with growing up and not feeling comfortable to express myself in certain areas. And unfortunately, that carried on into my adult life, which is not healthy. And I think that's great that you can express yourself. Maybe, so it's a balance. You got to know how to do it the proper way.
That is true. It's a balance. I got to learn to scale back a little bit, not too much,
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you too, what got you started in filming? Were you an actress first and then you decided to start filming, or were you filming and then said, I'm gonna do a little acting as well? How did it start?
Yeah. So I've always had the passion for, like most people, it's embedded in you when you're young, whether you want to be a singer, accountant, whatever. You always, when you're little, you know what you want to do. So I've always wanted to do that. The first film that I directed is actually out on Tubi now. They don't have me as the director just due to my ex-partner, and you know how that goes, creative differences or business differences, but it's called Circles. And so I directed that probably about 10 years ago. And while we were on that set filming, little did I know at the time, the gentleman that was on set with us doing our sound, he was watching me direct people and all this. And once the project was over, he approached me about being a sports broadcaster for his family owned television station here in Dallas, in the Dallas area, local station. And so I had the opportunity to be a sports reporter, like on the professional level. So I covered the Cowboys and the Mavs, and I did that for 7, once you have the opportunity to get into that arena, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put filmmaking on the side for a little bit because this is super exciting. It put me in a lot of spaces, and it was such a blessing for me because I got to meet a lot of people and network and do some things. And so I'm meeting people that have names, and I'm talking to people like Tracy Edmonds, if you happen to know who she is, Babyface's wife or ex-wife. Victoria Ryle, who used to play Drusilla on the soaps back in the day. So just all these women, and they're like, you need to go out to, because I act as well, you need to go out to LA for a little while and just get your feet wet. So I did. And, LA is tough, I'm not gonna lie, but because I had a broadcast background, for me, I was still able to get into a lot of places. So I'm on sets working, I worked How to Get Away with Murder with Viola Davis. I was on 911, NCIS, both LA and the original one. LA is with LL Cool J. Neil Long is on there. I did a Charlie Sheen movie, SWAT, with Shamar Moore. This Is Us. I was actually on one of the most watched episodes of This Is Us. So I did all of these projects. So when COVID started, the country started getting sick. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Dallas. I realized that all the time that I was on that set, that was just a learning process for me, because I was watching how they move, how they filmed TV shows, how they ran sets, all the different jobs that were being done at that time. And it was like, wow, okay, I directed that first movie. Now I can run a set because I've been on them, as a worker, and I saw how they really work and how they run and the ins and outs and how things work. So I was able to, and we actually filmed the first movie. I don't know if you watched it, Chloe's Pocketbook Diary, which is on Tubi as well. We filmed that one while we were doing the shutdown.
Wow.
So, and then we filmed Just Between Us Girls.
Awesome.
Okay, that's an amazing roster.
Yeah, that's the next one I gotta watch. And I saw you interviewed I can't remember his name, but I know he's Bubbles from The Wire, which was awesome too, because that's
Andre Royal. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite shows. I was like, oh wow, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, what is, as a love coach, what is one of the biggest issues in dating that you would come across?
I don't know if it's necessarily because I'm a love coach, because I'll be honest, once I got my certification and I started doing the practice a little bit, I just got frustrated with always getting penis pics in my DMs. Because men, for whatever reason, when you start talking about sex, they had the misconception that I was a doctor, and I'm like, look, I'm not a doctor. It's just a certification to spice up your bedroom. But no, I just got flooded with all these penis pics, and I was like, you know what? Let me just concentrate on my filming because I can't with this right now. Still certified, of course, and still talk to people a little bit. But I guess when your question was about issues with dating that I just feel in general, to me, social media to me is a blessing and a curse. I do think it's a great thing for podcasters. Me as a filmmaker, we can get out there, we can get our projects out. You can meet people and you can network. But when it comes to dating, I think it sets up a lot of unrealistic expectations. with how relationships are. People aren't picking up the phone these days and communicating. As much as I love to text and as busy as I am, it's something special about having that man call me where we can actually have a phone conversation and I can hear your voice and I can hear how you say things and you can hear my voice and you can hear how I say things. But everybody just wants to text nowadays. I do feel like maybe I'm a little old school, but some of the men that I've come across lately, it's like they want the woman to chase them. And I don't think that, women should be reciprocated when it comes to communication and reaching out and all of those things as well. But it's just like, man, like put in a little work. Don't expect me to do everything.
Right.
I still feel like I'm the prize, and you as a man, you are the hunter. And I prefer to be hunted. I don't want to hunt. So,
right.
So I just think social media, it plays a lot in that. And then one of my last experiences that I've had that really kind of frustrated me, the gentleman was always on other women's pages, liking pictures and stuff, but would have an issue with people or my presentation on social media. And I'm like, dude, I ain't even really that bad compared to how some people are. But he would send me messages. Oh, I see this person like your picture. And I was like, yeah, bro, okay, we can't do that. So,
right.
But I do think social media has been a little bit of a curse when it comes to relationships.
What advice would you give to people who are single and like looking to meet someone? Because I think that's what the problem with social media, right? It's like replaced, like even when I don't know if anybody else is single over here, but I'm very much single. And I feel like when you go out to a bar, how men used to, you could be sitting at the bar and like, do the look or toss of the hair or just even like look too long, and they would come up and be like, hey, hi, my name is, what's your name? They would do the whole thing. And like I feel like now you're at a bar, you're with your girls, you're having a drink, you see the guy, he sees you, and then like you have the moment, but then it's like everybody just looks back down at their phone. It's like so weird to me. And like you said, I'm not gonna chase, so then it's just like, oh, that was fun flirting with the guy from across the bar. But like, I feel like they don't come up to you and like holler anymore.
I know. And that's what I mean. Like, it's like, I feel like the men want you to chase them. I'm going to say, if I'm in a situation like that, I would say bar, but I don't drink, so I don't really go to bars. But if I'm in a place where it's a
the coffee shop,
wherever it may be, or a restaurant or whatever, and I see someone that may pique my interest, and maybe they, have given me the indication that their interest is piqued as well. Just because of the climate we're in, I would go by and say something. Hi, just introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jen. Well, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
So basically, I'm not being bold enough. I'm being too old school.
I believe, and I've had this conversation with myself. I said the same thing. It's like, okay, maybe you got to, and I say, when I talk to myself, I say my full name, not my abbreviated name. Maybe girl, you just gonna have to, I'm not saying chase them, but maybe open the door a little bit more so that they know it's okay to come in. And if that's introducing yourself and saying hello, give it a try.
Yikes. No, I'm gonna do it. My birthday's on Saturday. I'm gonna do it.
Hey, you should try.
Watch out, world. Carlucci's coming for you. Full on.
I'm not saying chase him, I'm not saying do it, make him work too. But I think, it may be okay to just walk up to him and say, hello, I'm the wonderful Carlucci. How are you? Who's gonna say no to that? You know what I'm saying?
I love that. You know what? That's how I'm gonna introduce myself from now on. I am the wonderful Carlucci.
There you go. Amazing, extravagant, whatever. Give yourself a great adjective.
I am the wonderful Carlucci. That's gonna be my hashtag.
The God is something. Yeah.
That's
what I say. And then, at that point, he should, if he's interested, and you can let him take the lead from there. But that's what we got to start doing these days,
All right, ladies, you heard it. You heard it first.
And
All
she looks
right,
like that's
love
not
coach.
going down. She looks like that's a negative for her.
I mean, you know what? I normally would feel the same way, but you know, if you're really seeking love and you want that partnership, your life partner, you know, sometimes you got to take chances.
You got to do what you got to do, Essie love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
She gonna be hanging out with
like,
her, herself, and her.
I've done a couple odd things. I've because I did a survey on the strip. You know, I do surveys all the time, and so I did a recent survey of you know, I asked women, would they ask a man out on a date? I also went on Facebook and I asked people, would you ask a man out on a date? And so like it was an uproar from men. They were just like, oh, hell no, women don't do that, blah, blah, blah. So I took it upon myself. I asked, how many did I think I asked two guys out on a date. Two? Yeah, two guys out on a date. I know. I spent like $100 and something on the dinner. Nothing major, but I wouldn't say I was like interested in them, but it was like somebody I enjoyed company with. So I asked them out on a dinner date or whatever, and it was okay, but it was just like, I don't know. It was just like two friends going out to dinner. It wasn't like, I don't feel like it was like, I don't feel like it wasn't like if they would have asked me out on a date, I would have felt something more. You know what I mean?
get it.
So it was.
You would have felt
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna make a preface to this, and I'm so sorry to cut you out. I don't know if I would actually ask a man out on a date. Now I would go up and introduce myself and open the door for him to come and ask me. I don't know if I could ask him out on a date.
Yeah.
What about the women who are asking men to marry them? That was like a big.
They're gonna have to miss me with that one. I'm good.
That was totally a social experiment for me. I just wanted to see, you know, like
how it would feel,
what the response was. Would they treat me like women treat men? Because men are always complaining that women don't let them know, like after a date, like they don't give them any signs of anything, and then like a lot of men complain like they don't get anything from the date. And I totally didn't get anything. I didn't get a hug afterwards. I didn't get no kiss on the cheek. I didn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't expecting it.
So because of that experience, can you sympathize with men more and what they go through with dating women and they spend
no. Because here's the thing. The men that are complaining about this, I felt like they're asking too many random women. If they're complaining about how much they're spending, they're asking too many random women out on dates. You know, I'm feeling like they're not being selective with selective. You got to be selective. You shouldn't have taken that many women out on a date where you're complaining about it. You know what I mean? So I was selective. It didn't hurt my pocketbooks. Like, I'm not taking a bunch of men out on dates. It's like I'm saying, you shouldn't be taking that many women out on a date. So it shouldn't be hurting your pockets at all. So
do you think it's because they're trying to serial date, and then that's the reason why they're like feeling taken advantage of? It's like they're not really going out with quality women. They're just going out with whoever to try to have whatever the experience is, and then and get laid. I'm trying to say
that's what I'm thinking. They have an I feel like, and I'm not saying all men, but a lot of them have an expectation of where that date is going to end.
Yes,
right. That's going on,
and that's what I felt.
It's the issue most of the time when guys are like complaining and they're like, "Oh, I took her out and I did this and I did that," but it's like obviously there was no connection there, because I know when a guy takes me out and I'm digging him, like it doesn't end with no kiss, no hug. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you gonna know that I like you, right? That may happen to go down, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I didn't spend 45 minutes to get all dressed up for no reason, honey.
Right.
We ain't gonna make it to this club.
I still communicate with the guys, like we're friends, but no extra. We're cool. That's it. That's all. So
understand.
Yeah. Another question I have, it's pretty much I think my last question, is people that are going into the film industry, is there any suggestions or advice you would give them that would help them along the way that was difficult for you beginning when you got into it? I
think one advice that I would give is just have realistic expectations. And what I mean by that is like, it's a lot of work. I know it looks like glitz and glamour on social media. 9 times out of 10, people are posting the good stuff. They're not showing you up under the surface of how things really are. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of long days. For me, I feel like as a filmmaker and a director, I'm more of a problem solver than anything, because there is something that's going to go wrong. I guarantee it. And your job is to figure out how to make things work when whatever's going wrong is going wrong. You're gonna come across fun, unless you just got big ball and shot calling like 50 and Beyonce's and all these rich people. You're gonna come across funding issues. How do you keep going when you run out of money? How do you keep going when you can't get people to show up to set? How do you keep going when the camera blows up? You know what I'm saying? How do you keep going when actors don't show up or they don't know their lines or whatever the case may be? And so have realistic expectations, and then have a solid team. People that you can trust, people that you know you can lean on and will support you in your time of need, people that are going to be positive, you know, for you and keep you motivated and uplifted. So yeah, just have realistic expectations and realize it's not going to happen overnight. So if you really want it, you're going to have to stay in it for the long haul. It's a long game. It is not a sprint. It's a marathon ×2, maybe ×3. So just those that's the advice that I would give.
Awesome sauce. I love it.
I love that.
I love everything you said today, tonight. Love the movie. I'm looking forward to watching more movies.
Yes.
And we can find you on a lot of different platforms, I noticed as well. You want to give a list of the platforms that they can find your movies on?
Yeah, give yourself a shout out so they can find you.
So on, I'll be honest, I'm horrible on my public page for Jen Blanton. I really don't post as much as I should. The Jen Blanton Sexologist. I'm on my personal one all the time. But Jen Blanton for Facebook, IG Jen Blanton. Then I have my Ginger Snaps Films page as well. So that's pretty. If you put in Jen Blanton, you'll be able to find anywhere that I'm on as far as social media is concerned. The films are on Prime Video, Hoopla, Voodoo Fandango, Tubi. One of them is going to Peacock soon. I have a third movie that's coming out called Intentions. I don't know the release date yet, but that one's coming out. And then I'm in pre-production on 2 more, which I know you ladies are gonna like, because we're starting to go into those movies that are gonna be based on I'm just gonna be frank, sex.
Yeah.
Not pornos, but you know, it's a different feel from those first 2 films that we did, and I wrote those. So we're about to start delving into my topic of sexology and relationships.
Nice.
I mean, I guess that brings me to the Carlucci question, which is always, what's your favorite dirty part about the film industry?
Okay, you're gonna have to ask me that again.
Sexy actors.
What's your favorite dirty part of your industry? Like, what's the seedy underbelly that we don't know about, that like when you're in it, you're like, oh yeah, this happens in the film industry that people don't know about?
I mean, I think everybody already know what happened in the film industry. It's talked about all the time.
Okay, that's one of the things. I guess that's the elephant in the room. I mean, something that you know personally.
I mean, I'm not putting.
Is that still going on? That's still the main problem.
That will never end. I don't care how many movements happen, how many this and that, and you know, people come to light. The industry is what, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, as they say. Like, that's what it's built on. So that's never. I don't ever see that going away ever. And not to, you know, I'm not giving light to anything that anybody's gone through. I'm sure we all may have talked on, you know, experiences, but there are a lot of people that are okay with that. There are a lot of people that they be like, I'm going to use what I got to get what I want. And that's their choice, you know. If you have your choice, do what you want to do. And so I ain't mad at you. That's what you choose to do. That's what you choose to do. So like, that'll never stop. I personally don't think so. Not in this lifetime. But as far as things that I know personally, like, you know, I've been around a lot of athletes and stuff. You just, you know, you have to watch some of my movies coming up, take some experiences and put them on screen.
Oh,
Of course, I'll never tell any names, but you know, they may make it to the screen.
Listen, can I just be an extra? I mean, because them actors, boy.
I mean, you should see the leading cast for my next two films.
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you keep carrying on, I was just like, oh my, can we please?
Oh, if you thought those were nice looking, yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be tuned in, Jen. I'm gonna be tuned in. Trust me. I'm like, I don't have a lot of time to watch movies, but I am like on it now. I said, man, I've been slipping like majorly. Like, that was amazing. The actors were amazing. All of them beautiful and just fine as can be. Like, yes, bring all of them to the table. Like, I saw.
You should watch. Yeah, you should watch
yeah.
Chloe's Pocketbook Diary. It's a totally different film. That one is called Chloe's Pocketbook Diary. And do you ladies know what a pocketbook is?
I was
like a pocketbook,
like a black book, right?
Go get my pocketbook,
like a black book.
No, a pocketbook. So this may be a Southern thing. I know you ladies are in Vegas, so this may be a Southern thing. I can't say geographically, but it's definitely an old thing, like back in the past. My grandmother and them. So a woman's pocketbook is her vagina.
Oh.
Cover JJ. So it's called Chloe's Pocketbook Diary. So it's about this young girl who is, well, her parents through sex parties. So she grew up in that environment. And of course, her mom is the queen pin in the city. And she wants to be just like her mother. So she hits her 20s and she starts, you know, doing little things. She's letting her pocketbook take her focus off of the family business that she should be taking, be paying attention to. So you should watch that one. It's the first one that we did.
All right, I got some homework to do. A little
bit younger cast.
Chloe's Pocketbook.
Yeah.
Chloe's Pocketbook Diary.
Check that out tonight for sure.
So that one's a little bit more funner. Well, not more funner, but you know, it's a different subject matter. It's still, it's just a different movie. It's a different movie. And that one stayed on like the most popular list for like 9 months or so. Like it got a lot of traction. You know.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's amazing." When I posted that we were talking to you today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We can also find you on I had it written down, but one of my papers flew away from me. WCEP, the South Show. I'm missing some part.
Oh no, I did. They interviewed me.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the show you were on as well. Okay, well, awesome. Is there any other shout outs you want to give before we let you go for the night? I know we spent some time with you and I wasn't going to hold you too long.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Oh, yeah, you can tell I'm in Texas. I'm 2 hours ahead of you. I'm like, just thank you to everybody that, you know, has supported me thus far. I thank you. I appreciate you ladies. The first two films are really great, but what we have coming up next, I think is just going to blow everybody away. We're going like that Zane route. If you guys are familiar with her work. So hopefully, you know, I can continue to have your support because it's truly appreciated.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Who knows? Maybe I'll have the opportunity to come and bring you ladies in and have a segment. Film you guys as a segment or something in one of them. That'd be great.
For sure. Where are you located at?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, for sure. We love Dallas. We love Texas. We love Houston. We love all those cities. So for sure, anytime you need some extras, let us know. I'll fly out there in a heartbeat. If I can be around.
Well, I'm telling you, need to come and be an indulgence then, because it takes place in an upscale swingers club, and so we got a bunch of stuff happening in that film. We'll be filming that one this summer.
calling our names. You calling what?
You would love it. I'm telling you, you would love it.
Put it in my calendar. What date is this?
You would love it.
Please do. Well, we thank you for coming on the show for Dirty Talk Vegas, and we are going to be on the lookout for all the movies you have coming. Y'all can find her on Jen Blanton on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook. Look her up, check her out. She is an amazing director, actress, love coach, sexologist, and an amazing, beautiful woman.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
It was fun. Can't wait to see you again.
Thank you again for coming on. Take care.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. I was so happy to have her. Oh, that was awesome. Amazing.
That was really dope. So inspiring. I want to go make a film now.
Girl, you heard her. It's hard work, girl. This podcast is hard work, let alone trying to make a movie. Okay. Look, I'm trying to get my sheet because I had some other topics here and it just like flew off from me. Because we had a huge topic that happened over the week, girl, and you already know what it's about. That dress. That dress, girl. That dress that caused so much chaos over the internet. It was like shutting down Facebook, Twitter, freaking Instagram, whatever other platform. You know what dress I'm talking about, right?
What dress are you talking about?
Girl, where have you been? Sierra's dress was everywhere. It wasn't even a dress. It was an outfit. Let's just call it what it was. It was an outfit.
The outfit? Rihanna's outfit?
Sierra.
Oh, Sierra's outfit. Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
How did you
I gotta see it.
This dress? It was on every fucking platform. It was
Was
like
it
the time J-Lo wore that green dress. Remember how that was just everywhere?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is what happened to see. I had to delete the post on my Facebook because it was just people just kept going. I had like over 100 comments. I was just like, nah, we're cutting it. I don't even want to talk about this no more. Like I'm tired of it. But yeah, she had on this outfit and everybody was just really mad. And like I wasn't mad about it. I just
your dress?
Huh? Yeah. She wore that to the Vanity Fair. Okay, it was a sheer theme. So everybody was like, oh, it's a sheer theme. What is she supposed to wear? She was like one of the like 6 women that wore a dress like that. Hers was probably the most ridiculous out of all of them. Some people said it wasn't ridiculous. People said it was like, what's wrong with it? And everybody was like, well, why did you come for Sierra? Why is everybody attacking Sierra? It's because she's black, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, whatever. It's because we only know her. We don't know these other women. There was like some nobodies that wore similar dresses, but nobody knows them. So nobody cares about them. Like we only know Sierra.
But I mean, she looked hot as fuck.
So it's not about looking hot. We don't care about looking hot. Like Sierra.
What were they mad at? What were they mad at?
Sierra looks hot regardless. Okay, we get that. They were mad at the fact that she's married and she wore it, and the fact that her ass was all out. It's a family function. I think Angela Bassett had her whole family there. She had her son, daughter. The young kids were there. So I don't know. You're more of a I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna show my whole ass anywhere I go. So
anywhere I go.
Grocery store, I'm aware.
Anywhere I go, the girls are gonna be out. The girls are gonna be out. My legs are gonna be out. But I do have a rule. I have a ratio rule. So if you have the girls out, then you cover up the butt.
She had it
if
all.
You have the legs and the butt out, then you cover up the girls. That's my rule.
And most of the other dresses were kind of like that. So that's the halfway point. That's what made the other outfits not so bad, because the other outfits.
But I mean, she went for it. She was like, I got a fucking rocking body and I'm fucking hot and I'm gonna wear this goddamn dress.
Okay, but how many people got rocking bodies? There's a lot of rocking bodies that were in there that night. There was a lot of rocking. Sierra's not the only one with a rocking body. Let's just be real. You're not the only one.
You think it was a faux pas, or you think she should have wore the dress?
Cardi B was up in there. Cardi B got a rocking body. Megan Thee Stallion was up in there. Megan Thee Stallion got a rocking body. Like they all got rocking bodies.
Okay, again, I'm gonna ask you: was it a faux pas, or you think she should wear the dress?
I think she should have had a little more covered. Like she shouldn't have been like she should have just had a little more covered. Like she should have had like a sheer underneath that or something. Like it shouldn't have just been all ass out. Like she should have had just a little more. She would have been all right. Just a tad bit more, she would have been all right. Even if she would have like made a better job of covering up the nipples, or maybe a little more sheer on the ass, just something a little more. It was just too much. It was just like
If she would have wore a nude bodysuit underneath.
Yeah, that would have been fine. It was just to me the whole ass out. I've worn something similar to that, but I was at a lingerie party. That's what I'm saying. Like people were like, "Oh, you would have wore." I did wear it. I wore it a long time ago in my 20s when I was in my 20s at a lingerie party. Because it was a theme party. It was a pajama party actually, and I wore it to a, you know.
I mean, I feel like though they always are trying to do some shock value at the fucking Met and at the fucking Oscars and at the fucking Grammys. Like the whole point is to wear some dress that everybody's gonna be talking about. Give this bitch her flowers while she can still smell them. Go see her.
But I'm just asking, could you not have accomplished that without? She probably
could have, but she does what she won't. She wears what she won't.
I get it. I mean, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck. I just was commenting on it.
I'm just never gonna tell a woman what she should or shouldn't wear. Bitch, if you want to wear goddamn one of those damn hijabs and a hijab, however you fucking say it, and a burqa and a this and a that, I don't like it. I don't think we should have to be completely fucking covered from head to toe to be modest, but that's what some people like. That's what some people like. They want to be covered from head to toe. I don't like that. I think that's too much. I think it's weird to me. Okay, I don't like it. Okay, some people think I'm weird. Some people are like, Carlucci, cover up, put your titties away. I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna do what I want.
She lying. Carlucci, the same motherfucker that told me not to wear. What the fuck did you tell me not to wear one time? I don't even know. And this is the same motherfucker.
That was because they were ugly. This is a totally separate conversation.
Talking about my shit. My shit was not.
Be a real friend. Be a real friend, people.
Listen, this is the same motherfucker. They're gonna come around and wear some fucking ice cream shit. I told her, bitch, don't wear that shit. That shit look crazy, right?
You know what? One day we're gonna have to
a whole dress with ice cream cones on it. What are you wearing? You don't wear that shit.
We have to do the show in the outfits that each other hates, so that these people can see what the fuck we're talking about. Because I think we've talked about the ice cream dress and the fringes like 3 times. They're probably like, what the fuck are these bitches talking about?
My skirt was
hideous. It was hideous.
This shit. Nah, man, I wore it on New Year's. Everybody loved my outfit. You tripped. It was like a skirt, a black skirt with fringes on the bottom. Tell me how ugly. Like versus a whole dress, a blue dress with ice cream cones all over.
Bitch, ice cream cone, ice cream cone, ice cream cone. You can lick it like an ice cream cone.
She got some nerve. She got some fucking nerve. I'm the one who's gonna be. I'm all about fashion, so. I'm the one who's gonna look at people's clothes and be like, "What does she got on?" Like,
you missed the mark on that one though. Everybody, everywhere I go, they're like, "Oh my god, that dress is so cute. That dress is so." Every fucking time I wear it, so many people give me compliments. You probably don't like my country western jacket, but I fucking love this shit. It's fucking gangster. I'm gonna wear it on Saturday for my birthday too. Cowgirl up.
Yeah, it's high.
Wait till I get my cowgirl hat on and I'll do something with his hair instead of being in a bun.
No, I can't. It might look cute. I got to see the whole fit, then I could put it together. But anyway, I'm the type of person who will go and look at people and be like, "Oh, this outfit's cute. This is not cute." But anyway, I just felt like it was the wrong place, even though it was a sheer thing. I just felt like she could have came very, like, J-Lo's outfit wasn't naked. She wasn't naked, and everybody talked about that outfit for years. For years, they talked about that outfit. People tried.
Because she was damn near naked. Like back then, that was the equivalent of being.
She wasn't damn near naked. She was covered to a T. So sexy. She did that shit. She made that shit. Bam. People still talking about that dress. Like, what?
The whole point of that dress was the fact that it was basically nothing in the front. It barely covered her fucking little teeny tiny titties.
It covered her though. She did that shit with class and still made that shit look good. And you could still.
I'm not trying to say. Look, there's different looks, right? Like there's different looks. Like there's classy hot. Sometimes you want to go for that.
And she went for trashy hot. That's what I'm saying. She went for trashy hot. That's what I'm saying. She went for stripper hot. Like, why'd you go for stripper hot? You could have went for classy hot when you went for stripper hot. Why? You could have did that. She could have had a sheer dress with like nipple coverings and she could have did the full underwear look, like the swimsuit look underneath.
That's literally what she did. Why are you hating?
She didn't. She had a G-string on with a fishnet and her nipples weren't even covered.
Sierra, I want you to know, if you're watching our podcast, I just went to bat for you against Essie's punk ass, and I would do it for you any day, boo. I'm for Team Sierra. You look fucking hot. Wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. Fuck these haters.
And
bitch.
she
Anyway.
had a bunch of so her clapback was because she just posted on I think it was TikTok about 7 hours ago. She had a little clapback. She put on a sheet. She wrapped up in a sheet and had glasses on. And then she said something about dang, I had it written down, but I don't even know where it went. Oh, she said selective outrage, and she covered up, and she had like people were taking pictures of her, and she like walked out like this, like she was at the award show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is too. Selective fucking outrage. Like if anybody else would have, if Kylie Jenner would have wore it, they'd be like, oh my god, she's stunning.
We would have been like,
let me do my lips like the British. She's stunning. Yeah, that's what they would have said.
That's what we would have said. But we know, we would have been like, we know Kylie's a hoe. Like, that's what people would have said. Anywho.
The bitch is married, she has children, she's hella wholesome. She wants to fucking wear her hoe fit for one fucking day. Let that bitch wear it. Let her be great.
That's what I said. I said she's very, much to me, I feel like a wholesome woman. I don't know why she wore that. I feel like
because I just told you why she had wore that.
She wanted to let her hoe out.
She wants to wear her hoe fit. Stop fucking hating on her.
It wasn't the time for the hoe fit.
What you want to wear?
It wasn't time for the hoe fit. It just wasn't time for the hoe fit.
It's time for it whenever you say it's time for it, Sierra.
You say that for Halloween, bitch. All right, anywho's. That's all we got for y'all tonight.
Next week, where's my look, wait, I got a complaint. I got a complaint before we end.
What?
I was told by the powers that be that I couldn't say beer wench anymore, and I couldn't have a beer wench. Okay, I guess that's sexist nowadays. And they told me they were gonna send us a bell, and they were gonna send a bell for you for wine, and they were gonna send one for me for beer. And I don't know, production, are you guys watching this?
Yeah.
That's the reason why. Yeah, that's the reason why I have a shitty background tonight. This is my way of revolting against the system. Oh. I want my beer wench back, or I want my bell.
Should have a bell soon. It should be coming. It should be coming.
They said they were gonna send it, and production never sent it.
Yeah, it should be there. It should be there like next week, I think. Yep.
Production needs to get on it.
Should be there like next week though. Anyway, yeah.
Tell Frank I said that's what's good. Anyways, until I get my bell, safe sex and
safe sex, motherfuckers. Love for all, love for love. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in again. Love guys. Dirty Talk Vegas.
Love you guys. Bye.